Welcome, friends. Welcome to today's Reconsider It live stream. Best live stream you're gonna see all day. Here on this live stream. You are going to get a very exciting and wonderful tinkering in the studio session. My regulars know what it is. An hour of some improvised live looping. Vocals only. We have the foundations of a beat here. I'm going to be building up more. Also bringing in the synth. The synth is not connected to the loopers, but it will be fun accompaniment. If you are new to the Reconsider It live streams, welcome! You made the right decision joining us. We want you here. At this time, we are in a warm-up phase. We are just getting the blood flowing and getting ourselves situated. And here in this warm-up phase, I need to celebrate. What do I need to celebrate? I need to celebrate. Thank you for being here. Whether you are here with us live in the chat, or you are here with us live, but you are not in the chat, or you are here with us after the live, you are watching on replay. However it is that you are here with us, thank you for being here. I'm going to celebrate you at this time in this way. I have got my drink. I am going to count to 3, and then I'm going to clink. You are invited to join the rest of us as we cheers along and celebrate our togetherfulness. And it all begins. It all, of course, I mean, you know where it begins. It begins on 1. That is a good place. A very good place to begin. You know that. You know that. 2. That's also a nice place to proceed unto. 3. Clink. Cheers, my friend. Oh man, that is good. That is the goodest of all the goods. That is just from the goods. This is good. Please like this video. Please subscribe. Oh man, friends, this is good. I have even better news because is with us. Man, this is good. This is good. We have got a Tinker stream on our hands, my friends. And that is good. My regulars know what's going to unfold. We're going to be hanging out, and in no particular order. Could have gotten even better stretch there, I think. Gonna build up this beat. There's a bunch of additional layers I can put stuff in. I'm gonna start building up the drums more. There's a lot of room to build up the drums. I'm also gonna be pulling in the synthesizer at some point pretty soon. It's gonna be such a good, fun experience. You are gonna feel such a strong resonance of things to the effect of, I am enjoying this. This is pleasurable to me. Oh, man. All right. So we got some drums to build up. That's good. Start there. Let's see where else we go. This is gonna be so much fun. The crazy rabbit. Is with us. With us as well. We have a duo of the great Also, Emperor Kamikaze. over. I'm getting caught up in the chat. I see there's some discussion around the 505, the looper, the top looper, the 505 Mark II. Jack says, so many great effects. There really are. The coolest thing about it, though, and I mean, I don't have other gear. Like, I am not, despite the fact that on YouTube I hang around with a number of other synth musicians. I mean, I do have my Hydrasynth down here, but that's not hooked up to the loopers. But I don't have all this, like, I don't know, decades of experience with hundreds of pieces of hardware things. It's like, this is all I ever had. This is my loopers. So to me, it appears as though it is indeed a lot in terms of effects, but I don't have a lot to compare it to. Furthermore, when I say the following, I think this is really cool, but I have no sense of whether this is common among other pieces of hardware. Like, if you got, there really isn't, to my knowledge, any alternative loop station. There used to be one, but they discontinued it, and I was disappointed because I was considering getting one, or at least renting one. I have the ability to rent one if I want to. So that's good. But anyway, they discontinued it, and that gave me a frowny face because it would have been cool to see that other one. I forget its name, but I know that Reggie Watts uses it, or at least used to use it years ago. So if you can look up Reggie Watts from, I don't know, let's say 2015 or something, roughly around there, plus or minus 100 million years, you'll find his looper he used to use. Anyway, I didn't say the thing yet. I'm going off on all these tangents. What I'm trying to say is, I think it is cool that not only are there a lot of effects, a lot of sound effects and things, not only is that true, but the fact that you can combine them and stack them, that's the thing that I think is really cool. But I have no sense of whether that's common. Is that normal for all pieces of hardware? I can stack up to 4 effects of input to make it sound like this, whatever this is. I don't even know what you would call this. Some kind of horn, some kind of brass. Whatever it is. Or this other one. Which I was about to redo, that's right. So, I remember now. Because I'm about to go redo and play around with this other layer that I'm going to re-record, I wanted to come and communicate regarding the chats that are coming in about the 505. That's what all this was about. It took me like, wow, was it like 3 or 4 minutes of random tangents at every possible turn? That was well executed. That was good. A lot of focus. But because there are 505, praises, I guess, seems so versatile, so many great effects, tons of value. Jack says improved sliders. Yes. Much agree. Warheart says that he would use the term gear junkies. I've never heard that term before. That is, hopefully that's not some kind of like slur, is it? I'm not gonna say it again just in case it is. I don't mean to offend anybody by learning a new term. But if it's a neutral term, or if it's a positive term, just meaning people who use synths, that's cool. I like having a shorthand for that. Jack says there's another looper called Cosmos. Is the full name like Cosmos 15 or something like that? I feel like somebody recommended that to me. And I wrote it down, and then I did follow up on it, but I never really, really followed up on it. So I don't know anything about it. Does simple effects artistically. That's cool. Sometimes I would like to have simpler effects, because it can get really complicated, and as I say, you can stack 4 input effects. It matters the order you put them in, so it's not like you're just getting 4 layers combined. You're really getting whatever the math works out as all the possibilities for that. What is it? 24, I guess. You could have the same 4 sound effects tuned in the same way, but stack them in 24 different ways. That's what I'm saying. But in any case, I agree. Mark II is awesome. There's a lot you could do with it. When I do those 505 beat making streams, one of the things I often like to say when I do, I can't say I say it on every single stream, but it is something that's often my thought process when I do those 505 beat making streams, which is that I mean to encourage you, the listener, you, the person considering whether a 505 up here, the Mark II, whether that's something you might want to play with. You're going to get one and, try your hand at it. One of the things I like to say in my 505 beat making streams is it's very usable. It looks complicated, and it is complicated. There's a lot on it that I don't even know. I've never used before. But it's easy to find a niche of things that you want to do with it. It's sort of like, I don't know, insert good metaphor here. Some good visual. How's that? Does that work for you? That helps you assimilate that better. It's like you carve out whatever you carve out. You ever seen those pinhead things? I used to have one of those, but those things that are like a bunch of, it's like an object that is this like thick plexiglass and then like a bunch of pins that are very tightly packed, but you could like put your hand in it and it would form to your hand, or you could put it on your face. Haha, no one's ever thought of that before. And then look at that, it looks like your face. So that's what I'm saying. It's like something like that happens with the 505. It's like you'll find stuff that you're trying to do with it, and you'll discover the parts of it that are relevant for your
This world needs a hero.
See, there's some continued discussion regarding the gear. It begins with gear acquisition syndrome. And then you're buying, before you know it, you're buying equalizers for side chaining and preamps you'll never use. Getting gear you don't need. Yeah, I don't have that, but I can easily imagine how that might happen. The more specialized a piece of gear is, the more likely it is to stack up among other specialized pieces of gear. But the more flexible something is, then the fewer additional pieces of gear you need. So I guess that does say something for this looper up here, the Mark II. The RC505 Mark II. The Mark I on the bottom. Mark I is good. And it's cool. But the Mark II is just so much better. As I always say, it is not like an upgrade. It's like 5 upgrades. It is so much better. It might not be obvious why. There's just so much more that's available to you. It is a pure superset. I'm trying to think. I don't want to make an absolute statement. To the best of my knowledge, there isn't anything that is on the Mark I that is not also available on the Mark II. I don't... Question mark? When the Mark II first came out, there was something. And there was like 2 or 3 things. I'm not sure exactly. 2 or 3 things. A question mark, I'm not sure. But I do know that one of them was one of my favorite effects. And I was like, what? It's not available? Because I got like one of the first shipments of the Mark II. And so I was playing with it and I went to, let me just try to redo the songs that I used to do on my Mark I. And I found that this effect was missing. And I was like, oh, this is such a predator. I'm already trying to like move past the stages of like anger and bargaining and grieving. I'm trying to just like get through it and already planned. I was like, all right, I gotta live with the fact that this looper is not what I mean, it's good. It's still good. It's good. I'm thankful for it. It's good. Let me be clear. I'm very thankful for it. It is good. It's good. But it doesn't have that effect. It doesn't have that one effect. It doesn't have that one effect. Oh no, it's that. It is that one effect. The one that I like. That one effect. Oh, it was that one effect. Oh, it doesn't have that one effect. Oh, that one effect. Oh, it doesn't have that one effect. Oh, it doesn't have that one effect. Oh my, no, it doesn't have that one effect. So I was all, in that successfully moved through all of it and moving on with my life phase. And then they had some firmware updates and they added it back in. Plus those other couple that, like I said, it was 2 or 3 or however many it was. I don't know exactly. But they added all that back in, plus new features. The amount of, would you say firmware or software? The amount of, let's say software, updates. Yeah, it's software. The amount of software updates for the Mark II, like what has been in the updates, awesome. They really have solidified it. They've added really cool new things, new capabilities. It's dope. So as I say in the 505 beat making streams, which I never wound up saying earlier, that you should feel very empowered, you should feel very capable if you're thinking about getting one of these 505 Mark IIs, because they are able to support what you want to do with them. You would figure out all sorts of cool stuff that I don't know how to do. Warheart says it is in fact firmware. Okay, I'm just as good going with that. That was where my thoughts first went. So cool, it is firmware. So the firmware updates for the 505 Mark II have been really awesome. And in fact, I should probably go check. It's been a while. I just remembered and realized. This World Needs a Hero. You were doing a MPC Live 3? Or is it MPC 3 Live? I think it's MPC Live 3. You were doing a video of that earlier. What do you think of that device? Because that came out like a month ago or something? Is that right? MPC Live 3. As we talk about other gear, that's one of the pieces of gear that I have considered. There are 3 pieces of gear that I have strongly considered. One of them is the MPC Live. And if the 3 is the new one, okay, that I would be getting the latest and greatest model. So the MPC Live is on the list of pieces of gear that I would most seriously consider, most carefully consider getting. MPC Live is one of them. And that's why This World Needs a Hero. I'm curious to hear what you think of the 3. The other pieces of gear that I have considered and would consider, I don't know. Dang. I don't know the name of this thing. Everybody knows what it is. I just don't know the name of it. Another one is the Machine. That's how I pronounce it. That's how you pronounce it, right? You pronounce the at the end. I'm having some sinus issues, evidently. Let me get on to re-recording this thing, which is what I was trying to do like 700 million years ago, which has gone by in just the blink of an eye. If we reflect all these 700 million years that we've been together here, it's just gone by. It's just gone by so fast. It's just gone by so fast. Warheart. Whoa. Warheart says that he had an MPC 1 and did not love it. But maybe it's different with the other models. Yeah, who knows? Oh, that's right. I was going to try to look up the other one. So the Machina, like I said, I pronounced the E at the end. I think that's what you're supposed to do. That one looks fun. Or the MPC. Or... Oh, dang. I'm going to see if I can Google it quick. Found it pretty fast. The SP404. This one. So that's another one. If you know what that is. If you don't know what that is, then don't worry about it. It's just some other... It's just some other, you know, what do they call it? A groove box? Is that what they called it? That one looks good. If I had to narrow it down to 2, I would probably say I would want to try. I'm not saying I would get. I'm most interested in trying either the MPC, you know, Live 3, the current model, or this SP404. Those are the two I'm most interested in. So who knows? Trader the Living comments. I'm going over here. Trader the Living says he actually has the Live 3. Okay, good. Now I want to hear what you think. I gotta... All right, I'm ready. So Trader Living, I should change my camera setup, by the way, because I'm often like just right here, and I'm off camera completely. So I should do something about it. I should change my camera setup at some point. Maybe before the heat death of the universe, I'll do that. Maybe. Where was I? Oh yeah, Trader Living. Trader Living has the MPC Live 3. Had it for a few days. Says it's cool, but I might send it back actually. My XSE, I don't know what that is, but it's another piece of gear, I presume. This other piece of gear, the XSE, has more to offer for what I'm personally doing. And otherwise, it's kind of redundant to have the MPC. All right, well, that's cool. It's good to hear, you know what redundant? Oh, it's redundant for my setup. You know what that's better than? This is not good. So I'm not hearing anything like that. I'm not hearing it wasn't a good piece of gear. In fact, I see it is cool. So it's a cool piece of gear, but for me personally, it doesn't, add much. It sounds like Trader Living also did a video on the Linstrument, which is also really cool. That, you know, that one actually went through my head, but I'm not close to considering that one. I personally wouldn't. I don't see myself getting that. But it is cool. The Linstrument. If you don't know what the Linstrument, is, that is worth trying to find. Just Google, or don't even Google it, just YouTube it. Trade of Living also says that he could see the SP404 working well in my setup. You know, I was thinking, as I was talking about it earlier, I narrowed it down to the MPC versus the SP404, and I didn't say it out loud, but if I had to narrow it down to one, the SP404 is the one that I'm most interested in. So I'm wondering if maybe I should go rent one of those. I'll see. I had been talking about getting another Mark II. Another Mark II looper. But ever since I changed my... Here, let me put this back. My regulars know that I had been having technical issues with the bottom looper here. And the primary issues are with this loop all the way to the left. It has issues with the slider. It has issues with this button, you know, that I'm running my finger over here. This is the on-off button for this loop. Or not on-off, it's the on and record. This is the off button's up here. In any case, there's technical issues basically with this whole loop all the way to the left. And my regulars know that as those issues got worse over a period of however many, I don't know, months or years that started accruing. At some point in the past, I don't know, 6 months or so, maybe a little longer, 8 months ago, I started talking about it on the live streams. I was like, oh, I keep having these issues with this thing, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I actually talked to the people at my local, I guess, vendor, what would you say, where I got this. And they gave me an estimate. Like, they would do repairs, is what I'm saying. A place where I can go to get repairs. They gave me an estimate, and it was like, at the minimum, just for the service to happen at all, there's the base fee, and then there's also hourly whatever, and then there's also parts. And the Mark I, which is the bottom one, that's the one having the physical technical problems. The Mark I is not made anymore. It hasn't been made for a couple of years. And probably like 5 years or so, question mark? I'm not sure, something like that. And so it would be difficult to find the parts. Ergo, the parts would be expensive. And so altogether, the costs to get the Mark I replaced, or not replaced, but to have this whole channel basically, I guess, just analyzed and probably replaced, would be, I don't know how, a few $100s, likely. And it would be not that much less than if I were to just get another Mark II, which is like $700, I think. $650 maybe, I'm not sure. So my options were repair just this one part of the Mark I and ignore any other issues or creeping up issues that might become an issue next month. Oh, next month I have 4 failures now. So I can repair just this one part, maybe. I might have to pay a bunch of $100 and then they determine, oh, sorry, we can't fix it. Like, what? Like, that'll be $500, please. What? That's actually a real, very real possibility. So either pay a couple $100 just to probably, hopefully, fix this one part, and then I get a Mark 1, or pay another couple $100 and get another Mark 2, and then use those instead. My regulars know that was all happening something like six-ish months ago. But after I had been talking about that for a couple of weeks, I decided to experiment. Oh, who was it? I think it was Glitchmoth. There was someone in one of my streams who challenged me to use my drums in a way I had not been using them before. My drums are what I use in the bottom looper, the looper that I was considering getting repairs on. He said, why don't you try this other thing that I tried? And I tried it with him on the stream there. And even though right now I'm not doing the thing that he had challenged me to do, but I did it on that stream. And it just got me thinking about redoing the way I do drums. Got me rethinking the way I do drums. And so I completely redid it. And here's what I've been building up to for the past, 10 minutes of rambling. Here's what I've been building up to. I redid the way I do drums. And the way that I do drums now, it's actually not much of a problem. The fact that I have those technical issues. The technical issues are still there, but I just don't put anything that's... What I put there is my metronome track, and that's very easy to control on and off. So... what I'm saying is, I was getting ready to spend a couple $100 on a new Mark II. What if I rent this SP404 and see what I think of that instead? Because right now, even though my technical issues are still there on my Mark I, it's actually not interfering for the most part with what I need to do on my beats. So maybe I play around with the SP404 instead. Or not. Maybe I still get the new 505 as planned. But now I'm thinking about other possibilities. Because that would be cool to branch out and start doing new things. I got the Hydrasynth. That was fun. I have never been much of a synth person, so there's a lot that I'm not doing with the Hydrasynth. And that I lament a little, but I have fun with it. Hydrasynth is good. So I'll see maybe about this SP404 and how that goes. That could be fun. I'm getting caught up on the chat again. There's a lot that I need to get caught up on. Alright, what's happening? My man Crazy Wabbit is the OG. Bringing the real, cultural reference here. Giving a shout out to our friends in the year 3756. So getting caught up on the chat, I see Trader Living is saying for sure that the MPC Live 3 is a great piece of gear, and I indeed understood properly earlier when I summarized it as saying that it was just like Trader Living says it's not adding much to my personal gear setup, but if I had a different gear setup, then it might, because it's an awesome piece of gear. So that's cool. That's a good confirmation. Message received. Yay. Warheart says, yeah, any modern NPC will be really dope and I'll learn stuff. I can dig it. Warheart says he might even give the NPC ecosystem another try. That'd be cool. Warheart says, why don't other manufacturers make a competitor looper to the 505? I don't know. It is weird that there's no competitors. We were talking about that earlier in the stream. I would think that there would be other loopers. There used to be, as I said, Reggie Watts had another one that I was thinking of getting or renting, but they discontinued it and they don't make it anymore, which gives me a frowny face. I'm sure that it would be possible to find one somewhere, you know. So I could even do that, you know, but I already have a looper, you know. If there was a competitor, an alternate looper, I'd be interested in taking a look at it. I know that there's like, you could use a, what do you say, like a tablet if you're going to use Loopy Pro or some business like that. I have not personally gotten into that. I know some people really love it. They love the software-based loopers. And I can appreciate that because they look, you know, incredibly flexible. I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh man, you got 4 inputs. Okay, on the Loopy Pro, what you could have, like 60? So there is clearly that argument. I don't know, can you do audio straight into Loopy Pro? I mean, a mic is what I mean to say. A raw mic straight into Loopy Pro? I don't know. You might be able to do that. You send it through a mixer or something. I'm trying to get caught up on the collective super intelligence that we have going on in the chat, which is what I love most. I love being your host. That's what I love most. I get to post the dopeness, and you know, you go with this whole flow and a show that it's so nice. Check it, yo, my flow might just get right in your eyes, or rather your ears. Check it, it's something nice that you want to get near and never fear, which is the dopeness. Check it, I go with exactly what you know is what you cope with the best. You lay it to rest, and yet you never jest because it is the best. I sniffle, that's the best. And my illness, it ripples. Yes, it is the dopeness in which a wise person would invest. I still have another loop I have to do as these sinus issues creep up on me. I don't know if I've talked about that on my live streams before, but I have chronic sinus issues. And it's taken me my whole life to figure out how to balance them. I get better and better and better every year as I figure things out. And I've been, the past year has been particularly good. And I was all so happy for the past, however many months, almost a year. But then the past, 3 or 4 weeks, 5 weeks, has been just brutal when it comes to some kind of environmental, seasons changing of some kind. Something's going on the past month or so, and my sinuses have been obnoxious. So I think that might be just getting flared up a little bit here somehow. So anyway, that's the thing, FYI. I might occasionally have that happen on a stream. I'm actually pleasantly surprised, that it hasn't really happened much. There have been a couple streams in the past month or so when I have had some sinus issues. But, you know, for the year and a half that I've been streaming now on a regular basis. By the way, this is today right now, I think this is the ninth consecutive day in a row of me live streaming. Not as dope as This World Needs a Hero with the mad consecutive streams. The largest consecutive stream run I've done was, I think, around 20, maybe as much as 22, 23, something like that. That happened back in August, 2 months ago. There was this stream of just this unbroken stream of consecutive days in which I did a live stream. And like I said, I think it was a little over 20. Today is the 9th. We're 9 days in a row. I plan to stream tomorrow. That's Friday, so that'll be 10. I plan to stream the following 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. That'll be 12 days in a row. And at that point, once I get to 12 days in a row, that's when I look at it and I'm just like, do I need to go? Am I obligated to keep doing this so that I can break my own record? That's how I start feeling at that point. Once I've already done 12 days in a row, like I'm not trying to do 12 days in a row. It's just going to happen that way. It's going to work out with those numbers. And then at that point, it's like, well, I've already got a streak going and I didn't even try to do it, so I might as well intentionally prolong the stream. That's what I want to do anyway. I want to come stream and hang out with you. I want to do that anyway. So why don't I like do it intentionally? That's how I start feeling at 12 consecutive days. Now, of course, that means like an hour or so each day, including the discussion streams. Some of you guys who are here with us live right now in the chat. Also, if you're here with us live, but you're not in the chat. Also, if you're here with us after the stream, but you're watching on replay. You might be joining us for the discussion streams, which are new. You might know exactly what we're talking about. Those are still highly experimental. I don't know where those are going to go, what's going to become of them. But those discussion streams are pretty cool. You should join us for those. There's a lot of chat I need to get caught up on here. Oh, earlier I was saying that I needed to ping your collective super intelligence. For everybody who is here live with us in the chat, I have a feedback question for you. Since we're all connected here in this collective super intelligence manner, if you are watching us after the stream, I would be interested in your feedback in the comments on this. So let me know if you do have a thought on this. But I think about like how I like being here with you. I think about how I love doing this with you. I look forward to doing this with you. And I think about that. And I think about how I would like this to feel as comfortable and good of a familiar place that you continue to look forward to. You think about joining us. And I think about things like, you know, that TV show Cheers. Just like the hangout, the place where you feel comfortable and, you know, you go to feel just kind of having a good time, you know. It's a good place to be. So I aspire to be that. And I thought about, like, if I wanted to name the hangout, what is the space we're in? You know, to say something like reconsider its music sketchpad, that takes like 7 hours to say. It's entirely too long. Even just my name. Reconsider it. It's pretty long. If I meet somebody at a venue, a performance venue, and I'm talking about myself as an artist, if I'm like reaching for a business card, I'm like, reconsider it. And they're like, what? Reconsider it. 5 syllables. Although it is pretty easy for them to understand when I tell them that it's like the 2 words put together. Reconsider, consider it. Reconsider it. And they're like, oh! I'm like, yes. But I have to explain it. So, when I think about naming, I want it to be like kind of a nice name that sort of explains itself, also has some meaning. And so here's one name, and this is the thing that I'm pinging your super intelligence on. Our collective shared, what is your opinion on this? What is the name of this space where we hang out and we just do this kind of like playing around, talking about whatever we're talking. Today we're talking about synth stuff, gear. Where are we right now? Well, if you think about this, think about this. You know how when we cheers together, you know what we're cheersing, right? Specifically, what are we cheersing when we cheers? Every stream we do a cheers. We are celebrating our togetherfulness. And you've given me good feedback about that word, togetherfulness. So where are we? Where are we? Where are we? We celebrate our togetherfulness. Where are we? Are we in the togetherfulness? What do you think of that? Are we in the togetherful nest? Is that where we are? Please share your thoughts. Also, let me know what other thoughts you would have, what other names you might have. Where are we? Welcome to the togetherfulness. There's so much chat I need to get caught up on. Hold on. As we hang out here in this good place, this togetherfulness. Yeah, there's so much that went off the screen. Hold on. Trade of the Living. I see. I gotta do my camera different because when I go to see, I'm off the screen. I gotta do more of that. Anyway, Trade of the Living says that's really cool having the option to rent things, to rent pieces of gear. Yeah, it is. I agree. I consider myself fortunate. It is a good local access to a, what would you say, a distributor. They have everything. They have absolutely everything. I still got to do this last loop up here, but I love all this discussion going on right now in the chat. Oh, and by the way, I do want to agree with Wabbit earlier when he said that He's shouting at our friends in the year 3756. My people. I see that still a lot going on here in the chat. I love it. It's so good. I get to have so much more intelligence right now. I'm just like eating it up. This is great. I love to have more smarts. Give me smarts. Give me your smarts. Give me your smarts. Give me all your intelligences. Do smart at me. Make me more brain you. I see Crazy Wabbit says that you can indeed run a mic into Loopy Pro. Okay. That would be a pretty, somewhat lacking feature if not. So I'm glad to hear that confirmed. Thank you, Wabbit. Wabbit says I don't necessarily suggest it, even though I do like using an iPad. So you might, even though I personally don't want it, you might like it. He's saying to me, Recon. Okay. Yeah, I don't know that I've heard anyone say things that are necessarily bad. I do hear comments like we've heard today that it's like, yeah, it's just not for me. It's not adding something for me. But I don't often hear things like it's a bad piece of gear. Such conversations do exist, but it's just not common in my observation anyway. Maybe I have a very limited observation. So much cool expertise. Warheart says I was playing a proper drum kit, like a physical drum set, and then it went back to Fruit Loops. Is that what it is? Fruit Loop Studio? Fruity Loops? Regarding the name of where we are, Trader Living says Recon's Rec Room. The alliteration there. The alliteration. Crazy Wabbit says, how about Clinkin' Chats? See, now that has a ring to it. When you think about naming something, you have to think about branding. You have to think about, is it catchy? And I'm just going to, lay it all out on the table here. Clinkin' Chats is really catchy. That's the kind of thing that you want to say. You want to say that out loud. Clinkin' Chats. Man, that's pretty dope. I'm just going to be real with you about it. That's going to be stuck in my head now. Join us for another Clinkin' Chats. Wow. See, what is that? Clinkin' Chats? You could say 3 syllables or you could count it as 2. Depending on how you count syllables. Clinkin' Chats. Clinkin' Chats. In any case, that really just rolls right off the tongue. Basically 2 syllables. That's the kind of thing. Yeah, now we're talking about it. Friends, welcome back to Clinkin' Chats. Oh my goodness, that's so fun and easy to say. Oh man, I have to sit down almost. Wabbit says, we're in the bouncy ball pit at Chuck E. Cheese. Oh my goodness. Do I have memories of that? I think I have memories of that. I feel like I might have done that at a McDonald's. Oh man, the ridiculous stuff that we're subjected to as children in American culture. I never understood that. I think I kind of barely understand it now. But even when I was really young, 4, 7, young, I remember not really understanding why I was being presented with things like, you know, at McDonald's, where it was like, here's this clown and whatever, you know, the big Grimace, the purple. What is Grimace? What is this purple thing? Like, what is? And the other ones, what? There's some bird. Wasn't there some kind of like Captain something? I don't know. There was the burglar, the Hamburglar. What is this? What is this cast of like not outrageous, but like over the top characters? Like, what is going on? We're here to get a sandwich, and this is me in like single digits of age, and whatever else. I can kind of understand now that there's like a developmental psychology behind that things are more exaggerated for a younger mind. Things have to be more exaggerated. So I guess that makes sense. Nonetheless, it's weird, like the whole idea of like Santa Claus. What are you talking about? The Easter Bunny. What are you doing? Like what is this? That's weird to me. They're like, let's just make up like really straight up like fabricate ridiculous things and just tell our kids that they're real. Like, what are you doing? I'm totally, I don't oppose if you want to take some kind of approach that there's like age appropriate stuff and you don't want to some like really complicated melodrama with like heavy serious themes of intense interpersonal conflict. Like, maybe you don't show that movie to what, a 5-year-old kid? Yeah, you give the 5-year-old kid the cartoons, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoons. Okay, I understand that, but I don't know. It's weird to me. Withhold certain things, okay. Simplify certain things, okay. But just like fabricate these ridiculous concoctions. I guess maybe I don't understand developmental psychology. Maybe that's needed for a developing mind of single digits of age, that it needs to have these like outrageous fantasies. I don't know. We got a lot of drum machine related discussion going on as well. Trader Living says Fry Guys. Oh my god, yes. From the McDonald's cast of like ridiculous characters. The Fry Guys. We're with it. Yes. We are on the same page, my dude. We got the connection. Jack says Grimace is a taste bud. Really? Jack says that's official. You're not making that up. Seriously? He's a taste bud? That's what Grimace is? A taste bud? He looks like a friggin' candy corn. Like a damn purple candy corn. That's what he looks like. A taste bud? Some little kid who thinks that the Birdie character is real. Some little kid who's like kicking their legs back and forth on the seat eating those French fries. They're gonna notice and think that Grimace is a damn taste bud. They'd be like, oh, taste bud. This is outrageous. I need to talk to somebody about this. I can't deal with this like level of not making sense to me. Maybe someone else thinks it makes sense. I need to hear how this makes sense. How does this make sense? Why do we live in a world where McDonald's would do this to us? Where McDonald's would just like make this character that's supposed to be a taste bud, and how on earth is anybody supposed to know it's a taste bud? That's really just like it's asking a lot of me as the casual consumer, the person who's just sort of there like in your restaurant trying to get a sandwich, and I'm like, hey man, can I get one of those chicken sandwiches? And can I also get a fries? Can I do a large size fries? I want to get some of the fries. Can I also get like a second thing of fries to take with me later, or not to take with me later, but to like take with me for later because I want to get it later. I want to eat it later, so I want to get it now so that I have it later, and I can eat it later because I'm going to get it now. And he's like, yeah, you don't have to explain to me why you're going to get another one for later. I get the premise. Like, if you say you're getting it for later, I understand all of that rest of what you're implying. Like, you're getting it for later so that you can eat it later. I get it. You don't have to explain that to me. But even though he told that to me, I was like, hey man, can I get fries to another thing later so I can eat them later? And he's like, yeah, it's totally cool, man. I'll get your second thing of fries. And that's my story. It's a pretty good story. And I also like the fact that Thomas has joined us, which is a really good addition to the stream. Somehow I was talking about Grimace being a taste bud and like voicing my frustration. And then I got to this like whole, you know, focus point of talking about walking up and ordering a bunch of fries. Somehow I was gonna work Grimace into that, but I didn't. I went off on a tangent, and Grimace was not any longer part of the action plan, the itinerary. Oh well. We got a nice story about me going to the counter and talking about how I wanted to get multiple fries and explaining to the guy why I wanted to get multiple fries for later, because the reason I wanted to get it for later was so that I could eat it later, and I didn't really want to worry or chance whether it wasn't obvious to him, and I had to make sure that I wasn't going to get judged negatively and like then get like excluded from reindeer games or something like that. So I was like, hey, the reason that I'm getting a second thing of fries is so that I can eat it later. When I tell you that I'm going to get fries for later, what I mean is that I'm going to eat them later. I'm not going to like do something else with the fries later. I'm just going to eat them later. And so that's the reason that I'm getting a second thing of fries for later. And he was like, yeah, man, I get it. You can have a thing of fries. Here. And by the time I was saying all this stuff, the fries were ready to go. And I also got that chicken sandwich that I asked for. So it was a pretty good day. And then I went home and I ate the fries later.
Toast me.
Has joined us. Pro says, did I eat the fries? Yep. Later. Jack says, how great are those fries? Yeah, man, I haven't had McDonald's fries in like mad years, but I do remember that back when I was eating that stuff, that they were, would you say addictive? I don't know if that's quite the word, but they were like really desirable, like indulgent, maybe is a word you might say. I feel like there's an element of that goes with Dunkin' Donuts as well. If you want to get some Dunkin' Donuts, that's a little indulgent. And when I say indulgent, what I mean is like providing a little value to you, little nourishment in this case, while just being like very temporary pleasure. Are you familiar with the band Mindless Self-Indulgence? Are you familiar with them? Mindless Self-Indulgence is pretty intense. I don't know if I have specific... Was it Tom Sawyer? They did a cover. I think it was a Rush song. But Mindless Self-Indulgence has a number of, you know, very them songs. They'll often do something. They're like this very intense, I don't even know what to call them, like punk, industrial metal. They have like 4 people in it, and they all are singers, but they all also play instruments. And it's really intense. It's very choppy. It's very, you know, as I say, intense. Like these would be intense personalities if you knew them in real life. If they were like part of your graduating class in high school, you'd be like, oh my goodness, those guys. Really intense. Maybe you want to go to a party of theirs, but you don't necessarily want to be hanging out with them all the time. Worth checking out. All said and done. If you go look up Mindless Self-Indulgence, you know, I'm sure it'll have some kind of ranking of the most popular songs. I'm sure try to start there. There's one album of theirs that I have that's like all the songs are really short, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, something like that. I don't know if that's reflective of all of their content, but their style fits that. Everybody's observing that there is a difference in the way that their names are displayed in the chat. I saw that too, and earlier that was affecting other streams that I was joining, that everybody's names was different. And I don't know why that it just seems to spontaneously happen sometimes. I always assumed that it was either specific to me or that it just kind of sporadically hits some people. It didn't seem to be causing any kind of functional problem. It was just our display names. It shows our username, rather than our, I guess, channel display name. I'm not sure what it is exactly. But it sounds like other people are noticing it today too. And I noticed it today too. I don't know if that's something YouTube does, does occasionally. They just like try different features and see if anyone complains. Or, I mean, I know they do that, but I don't know if this is one of those cases. Clinkin' Chat. Welcome to another Clinkin' Chat. By the way, you may or may not have noticed, but listen to the effects that I have put on this layer here. This one. There's like this cascading effect where it like chops up and repeats over itself. That cascading effect, which is cool because you can get some good stacking going on. That cascading effect is what I was talking about earlier on the stream. If you recall, when we were talking about the two different loopers, the Mark I and the Mark II, and I told you about how when I first got the first release of the Mark II, I was all excited playing with it. But then I said, oh no, one of my favorite features is not on here anymore. Oh no. And I was all upset and I was grieving and all this. And then I said that there was a firmware update that brought the effect back in. I said, oh good, now I have that effect that I used to have on the Mark I. Yay. That's the effect. That's the one I was talking about. That one where I could do the cascading. And it shocked me that they took it out. I was like, what are you doing? Like, that was such a dope effect. Just listen to it again. So dope. I didn't use it that heavily here in this one, actually. But in any case, apparently I was not the only one who was shocked. Because apparently they heard that feedback. That just like mad people were like, what the hell are you doing? Put this back. And it's called the Roll 1, by the way, for anyone who is using a 505 and you want to know what I'm using. It's the Roll 1. They introduced a second type of roll, and in the first release of the Mark II, they only had that other type of roll. So I went to it, and it wasn't the effect I was used to. I'm like, what is going on? Apparently a lot of other people complained about that, and they put it back in. So now we got Roll 1 and Roll 2. Roll 1 that's the OG. That's the OG roll that I was upset I didn't have anymore. But they brought it back. Shout out to Boss or Roland. Well, I don't know I think it's Roland is the parent company. And Boss is like a subdivision, I think. I'm not sure. Shout out to whoever it is. We have the no trousers, no pants discussion going on. I think that goes back to Wabbit originally. For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, we're just the people who are in the chat right now. We're just doing some old like reminiscing type stuff. I think Wabbit is the one who originated that no pants stuff. Not wearing pants. So as to signify that you're like extremely comfortable in your element, you know, not being disturbed at all. You're just in it. In the groove is not really even capturing it. In the groove. Yeah, that's true. That's not false. And I do want to get it all in the groove. And when I do, it's true. It's really nice, and I get with it like every little bit that I could improve. And when I get in it, yes, it's pretty nice. You get in it too, and yes, this whole music could be something nice, that you would get the groove and it's just really nice. I mean, come on, like you wanted me to drop some rhymes, I could do it like it was just lickety split. I'm ripping this shit and it's tight, I'm giving it, you wishing that it would be in this quickness, like rip it with this, just drop it. Yo, check it when I rock this, I shock this, I might hip hop it a lot if I can drop it. I know that I might not rock it, but I shock it. Yo, I tell you that I might go and drop this nice flow. When I do it, I might grow. Yeah, 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 You know, I kind of want McDonald's fries now. There's like a beckoning, like an old deep memory, an old deep addiction, an old deep craving that's like, these used to be good. I don't know though. I have to go look at how they're prepared. Like, what is that? Aren't they like prepared in some very not good way? Question mark. Tone Smith says bars. It gets me far when I have to open my heart for my art, even though inside there it's dark, and yet I embark upon it. Yo, check it when I get with it. I'm gonna say No Trouser Thursday. That's where we left off. Tone Smith also clarifies regarding Boss and Roland. Tone says that Roland is the daddy. Okay, good. So that's good. Got it. Trader Living is heading out. So thank you for being here, my friend. I see we're at almost 2 hours. We'll probably wrap this up pretty soon too. Let's make it to 2 hours. Jack enjoying the freestyle as well. Yeah, I've been meaning to put more raps just in the live streams. My regulars know that I've been, for this whole past calendar year, this has been like a 2025 growth as an artist goal for me, is to just learn how to live stream on command. Or I'm sorry, not live stream, to learn how to freestyle on command. Because my rap freestyle situation has always been that, like, sometimes I'm just really with it and I'm listening to some instrumental beat. You know, I have a playlist of instrumentals. And sometimes I'm just like, whatever the reason is, I just absolutely hit the groove. I don't know if it's the beat I'm listening to, the mood I'm in, whatever it is. But sometimes I just really nail it. And it's like, you know, you skip the rock on the lake and it's just like, whoa, what was that, 13 skips? Like, sometimes you just got it. And, you know, sometimes you play a game of pool and you just run the table, even though other times it didn't quite go perfectly because you were not a professional. And that's how it was with freestyling with me for raps. And I would say it kind of still is that. That sometimes I would just hit the freestyle groove and I could do, like, you know, literally 20 minutes straight of, you know, not stopping for one bar and just endless freestyle rhymes. And it's all, you know, a couple syllables, sticking with some nice strong frames and themes. But I was never able to just do it on command regardless of what beat was playing. So one of my goals for this past year was to try to develop that baseline freestyle rap skill so that I will be able to drop them and it will happen to be ill. Yeah, that would be the direction in which I'd have to spill my whole shit. Yeah, I go with everything that you know is not corrupt. No, this whole shit is like some gold, kid. You know this, and so it is what I flow with. Yo, you go with. So anyway, for this whole calendar year, I've been trying to just build up like a basic baseline vocabulary, just garbage doo-doo rhymes to fill in and be able to freestyle on command, even when I'm not necessarily feeling so inspired, so in the mood. And so anyway, for this past calendar year, my regulars know I've been talking about how I just freestyle in my car when I'm driving. I have a playlist of like 300 songs, actually more like 250 songs. I removed a fair number. Something like 250 songs. I just put it on random and I freestyle to it while I'm driving. So I've been sort of forcing myself to rap even if I don't have anything to say. And I've gotten enough of a habit, I've gotten good enough at it, where I've been meaning to start working it into live streams more. And so you're hearing that. You're going to hear more of it. There's going to be more rapping coming out, forever into the future. You'll just more and more and more. The coolest thing ever would be if I could do a whole stream where I only rap. Not necessarily that I'm rapping for an hour, although that would also be cool. But that I never just talk like I'm talking right now. Just absolutely everything is a rap. That would be really cool. If I can reach that level. I'm not quite on that level. But we keep moving in that direction. And friends, as we get close to the 2-hour mark here, we're going for just a mark it at 2 hours. We did it for a nice even round number. Good. Very nice. I wonder if the YouTube algorithm does anything special when you cross those nice round number markers. Oh, it was an hour and 59 minutes and 27 seconds. That means you're in this category of whatever. Oh, that was 2 hours and 1 second. You're in this other category. Now we're going to promote it more. I have no idea. But that's the sort of thing that I wonder. I don't know. Let me just go to 2 hours. A nice round number. In any case, friends, we are getting to that nice round number, which I like. I'm a fan of that. And as we get close to that number, that nice round number that I'm a fan of, I bid you a welcome, because in addition to me thanking you for being here, which I am doing presently, thank you for being here. It's so much better with you here. If you're here with us live in the chat, you have the most high impact influence. If you're here with us live but you're not in the chat, you have an influence too. You have a position on the present moment. And if you are here with us after the live, watching on replay, we feel you. We know you're there. We know you're there and you're having an influence. Thank you for being here. I hope to see you again in the next live stream. My regulars know we have a variety of live streams available here on our Clinkin' Chats. The Togetherful Nest. relax and chill is a nice performance, looking like it's prepared and rehearsed, but it's really all freestyles. We got 505 beat making, where you can learn technical details about the loopers while I build a beat. Unspoken is the instrumental gem, the joy, meeting all your instrumental needs. Tinkering in the studio like today, there's no structure at all. We're building up a beat, we play around the synth, we talk about stuff. My regulars know that there is a new category of live stream not yet reflected on this menu. And that is the discussion streams, where it's not loopers and synth stuff. I just sit down over here and set up my phone, and we just talk for like an hour. So far, we've been talking about things that I happen to have professional expertise in, very, very advanced, sophisticated, I would say, like, I guess advanced and sophisticated. I'm trying to think of what other words I might use, but I'm leading discussions that I happen to be a legit expert in, related to communication, formal communication, getting attention, influence. And so because I happen to have professional expertise, I've been leading some discussions on those topics. But the truth is, the discussion streams are more about the hangout and discussion, more so than the subject matter that I happen to be talking about. I would like to see them evolve into directions I can't anticipate. Evolve beyond just necessarily topics that I'm an expert in. Maybe we talk about things that I'm not an expert in. Maybe I do more listening on some discussion streams. What, do I react to current events? Is that what my discussion streams need to become? I'm not sure. But join us for those discussion streams. They've just begun. A couple of weeks ago, we just started doing them. We're doing about one a week. Join us for these discussion streams. And whatever kind of live stream it is, my friends, when you join us next here in the Togetherful Nest, By the way, I didn't hear any feedback on that name, the Togetherful Nest. I can't take credit for that one. That was a suggestion I received, and I'm just throwing it out here to see what kind of reception it might get. In any case, my friends, I will see you next time. Until then, please have a very good rest of your day today. Please have a most excellent and amazing, healing-full rest of your day today. Please allow the rest of your day today to expand your horizons, to expand your sense of what is possible in terms of good, enriching blessings and healing. What is possible for you to experience. Let that be expanded today. And I will see you in the next Reconsider It live stream.